CV for me that appeared this morning in the Irish Independent, courtesy of Dick Roche, who, amongst other things, apparently I come from the same political gene pool as the neo-fascists, and I represent an extremist nationalist party. Well, it just goes to show how frightened Dick Roche is of the arguments that we're trying to advance, that he has to sink into the gutter with his comments, making comments that would never be made by any British politician. I could give you the benefit of the doubt, sir, and say they were made out of ignorance, but I suspect, in fact, they were made out of malice. I'll make it absolutely clear that I represent a completely non-racist, non-sectarian, libertarian party. Yes, we believe in free markets. Yes, we believe in independence. But we've never had any association with those people, and we jolly well never would. And because of that, the British people increasingly do trust us, which is why we came second in the European elections in Britain. But, of course, he was intending to divert me, and he has, because I've wasted a minute of my speech on him, which I didn't really want to do. But, of course, the reason he's done it is this is the same Dick Roche who said there is no reason to believe that large numbers of workers will wish to come. And he wrote that to the Irish Times back in 2002, and he'd much rather there was no debate about migration into Ireland and the impact it's having on this economy at a time when you have hundreds of thousands of unemployed and it's rising fast. It's classic. It's classic, I'm afraid, of the lies that you in Ireland and us in Britain and in many other countries have been told successively. You open the door with Nice, 500,000 have come, and what this treaty does, of course, is it opens the door in time to Turkey, which would give free movement of peoples to a further 80 million people. And it's an element and an aspect that should be debated in this referendum campaign. And I would also like to correct other members of the press that say that UKIP, this ghastly UKIP, are piling money. I mean, you think we're the richest party on earth, that we're piling money into this referendum campaign to help the no side. UKIP isn't involved in this. UKIP won't put a penny piece into this Irish referendum campaign. I am here to represent a group in the European Parliament, the Europe of Freedom and Democracy, representing 33 MEPs, and we're trying to do something here because we want to redress the balance. Because it seems to us we're not really having a fair democratic campaign. You know, the Broadcasting Commission here has thrown out of the window the idea that both sides should get equal time. You've got millions coming in from the European Commission. You've got hundreds of politicians from across Europe campaigning for a yes, and somehow I'm accused of interfering. The real debate here is about democracy and it's about power. And this treaty gives unlimited potential power to the European Union without there ever having to be more intergovernmental conferences, without there having to be any more referendums in the future. This, frankly, is an affront to the peoples of Ireland that you should be asked again. And Dick Roche, again, it's a subject he's been very hot on over the years, haven't you, Minister? To attempt to rerun a referendum as a means of reversing the democratic decision taken by the people would rightly be regarded as an affront. You remember that, Minister, I'm sure. The French said no, they were ignored. The Dutch said no, they were ignored. The Irish have said no, and they're being bullied into voting again. If you vote no, it will cause a referendum in Britain, and it will bring the European project to a halt, and perhaps give all of us an opportunity to consider how far this project has gone and where we want it to go. It would be a fine democratic thing for the peoples of Europe to have an opportunity to stop and debate their future. So there is a very heavy burden on Ireland. Nothing awful will happen to you if you vote no. You know, the sun will still come up in the morning. Everything will be fine. Take this opportunity. Don't trust your politicians. Give the peoples of Europe a full debate. Thank you.
Nigel Farage, many thanks. Minister Roche, let me give you now the opportunity to respond.
Well, I don't intend responding, but what I do intend to do is to talk about why we should actually vote yes for the Lisbon Treaty. First and foremost, and I'll deal with just 4 of the issues.